We're live, back at Realcomm Live, ending day one.
We're
day two.
moderately live.
Moderately live, yes. That last group with all the rec guys,
Yeah.
I didn't say anything because it was a serious topic on cyber, but I felt like I was one of those football commentators, for Monday Night Football. Castano was the comedian, and Jim was the serious guy, and Charles and I were adding color.
Wrangling the talent.
Yeah, no, but I really felt like we're on a news set for a sporting event. So anyway, we are here to talk about the end of day one. Day two, actually, because pre-con is day one. Day three, if you include the golf tournament. And it's a marathon because you get up early, you work late, and then you do it for 4 days, right? Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, for the end of day two, the energy in this exhibit floor is still good, and it's at the end of the day. People were out late last night, and yet energy seemed to be very.
Everyone showed up this morning.
Everybody showed. Yeah. Okay. So purpose of this end of day is to just let us talk about what happened today, kind of a high level. So let's start early morning. I got to bed at 1 and woke up at 3:15. So that's 3.25 hours of sleep. Tried to go back, and I think you guys did, but didn't work.
I ended at about 4.
Okay, which is normal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's normal for these types of things. Got down to the opening session. Sean was working his magic. Everything was working. I'm going back to bed. But I was really pleasantly surprised that because of all the hard work we'd done before, we were ready. Mm-hmm. And then and we were going to plan some tricks. Sean had some tricks up his sleeve, and we weren't 100% sure they were going to work, but they did.
They did.
Yeah, and there were some issues. We had some normal issues that you run in conference, but I told them afterwards, I said they were so small in respect to what we pulled off. And what we pulled off was there were a couple speakers who bowed out last minute because of international COVID travel issues, some health issues. And in the old days, we'd freak out. Yep. We would just freak out, like, wait a minute, that's our opening session, you have to be there. But because now we've got 1.5 years, 2 years of hybrid experience, the response was no problem.
We're not sweating the small stuff.
We're not sweating the small stuff. Well, no, but we're ready to pivot.
Right.
Well, we were prepared.
To bring them in.
Yeah.
And I mean, our whole culture now is being able to pivot in a moment's notice, and not just pivot to a normal Teams call, but Sean made these guys look like it was me, and then it was Alon. I was there in person, and Alon was on the screen, and then we went, who was in the middle? Robert was there, Robert Enton.
And then Emmanuel.
Next to me was Sabine, and then Emmanuel, all there in person. Then we had the two virtual. And it didn't look exactly like they were in the room, but boy,
No,
I was talking.
It was a cool effect.
It was a cool
It was
effect.
a really cool
I
effect.
kept turning around like Elon could see me, and because I'm looking and leaning at him, but we achieved a really good effect. But why do we do it? To demonstrate how all of these organizations need to understand hybrid. This is not just about our conference. This is about office, industrial, retail, multifamily, mixed use that are going to need to bring these two environments.
It was a great illusion, too, when you think we had Dean in Toronto, we had Elon in DC, and I swear it looked like they were in the same room, sitting next to each other.
And they were talking to each other,
Talking,
and Sean made it look so seamless, and it's like, what? And then we were practicing
The
the high fives.
You know, I get to say, what one of the most remarkable things about the general session was? I don't know if you guys noticed it. Everybody was in their seats when we started.
Yeah.
Yes.
At 8
At
time.
8:15
Well, and the other-
in the
on
morning.
time.
Yes.
But the funniest thing for me was, I said, it's COVID, and we don't know where all of you are. This is a jam-packed, tight room. I said, if you want to get up and go next door, we have an overflow room. And half the room left, and Sherry comes, she goes, what did you do? They all left, and they're not coming back. I said, Sherry, if they want to come back, they're going to come back. If they want to go to the overflow room, they're going to go look at the overflow. I said, it's okay. I said, in giving the people that flexibility, but her face is just turned white, like they're all gone.
It did thin the crowd
Well,
out.
it did.
But some went
It
next
did.
door.
Yeah.
Someone, and frankly, for those people who left and didn't want to listen, shame on them, because the people in that room were the smartest. talking about serious issues. And I know why people come to conferences, but I don't know what it's going to take to get everybody to understand. You made the trip. You took the flight. Listen,
Attention
I know the
spans. You know,
conversation in the hall is important. We had plenty of time for that, but it's still my number one critique on
Well,
any event.
if they didn't tune in, if they didn't go to the overflow, like you said, they missed out.
They missed
because,
out. Yeah,
they
because,
sure got-
because Olga was the next
Oh,
segment, and
Olga,
she
the-
knocked it out of the park. She was so
I had
good.
Anna already going, I'm not following her.
She was. I know, that was so funny. That was so funny.
Anna was
Yeah.
But here's a young woman, successful in business, and her hobby happens to be climbing, 37
Right.
mountains?
Right.
And you
She
did a
was
great job.
amazing. She was
She
amazing.
did a good job. You
did
both
a great
did a
job.
great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Thank
was
you. Thank
that
you.
was an
No, she
incredible
was
I
session.
fascinating.
predict, we had her first, but I predict Olga's going to be on the speaking circuit soon
Yeah.
because not only is she a good speaker, not only is she doing crazy things, but her
got a
message,
message.
the
Yeah.
message
Yeah.
is...
Yeah.
Good and
Yeah, I
important.
mean, let's
Absolutely.
add the female side of it. Everybody complains in our industry that there's not enough females. Well, Olga is a
Entrepreneur.
superstar.
She's an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
She's brilliant. She's a data scientist. She's creating things our industry hasn't seen before that add true value. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it kind of made me think a little bit about some of the critique we got online about, not being more inclusive of women. And I'm going, our industry for 50 years has been male dominated. Bring me a qualified woman, and we'll put her on the stage in a split second.
We actually did an RC Live session and focused a lot on the shortage of women in our
Absolutely,
industry.
yeah. It's not by design or desire. It's what we're working with. So when you see somebody like an Olga,
Who is a superstar and a mega overachiever.
yes, quiet overachiever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of
Yeah.
course we had our vendor, our solution providers, led by Yardi, Tritium,
network.
and KMC.
Yeah, that worked well.
And we sometimes we don't want to hear people selling in an opening session. I get that, but boy, that was thought leadership.
No, those
Yeah.
were good
No,
conversations.
There
Those
was
were
no
important
product
stories.
sheets,
Yeah.
there was no
Yeah.
demos, and the issues are real.
It was all relevant.
Supply
real
chain,
real
That's a
issues.
huge
labor
issue.
shortage. I mean, we hit on some crazy,
did.
and it was really nice to hear it from the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then we wrapped up with that little company, Microsoft, that, is transforming. Probably will end up with one of the most innovative campuses in
I
the
don't know
world.
if people really got the real breadth of what they are doing up there.
And
But
I
it's
honestly don't think people will
incredible.
really get it until they go, because we're visual learners, and sometimes these new ideas are hard to understand.
Right,
But
right.
I think when that campus is unveiled, people are going to go, "Oh, this is what you were talking about." Yeah.
Right.
They're literally doing things that no one thought possible.
No.
Yeah.
No. And two great guys
Yeah.
leading that charge. So,
guys, yeah.
so we end the opening session, and then I decide I'm going to go up to my room and take a 30-minute break and have some tea, and I realize I'm supposed to be someplace, and had I not ran into Sandra, I would have
I was
totally-
on the hunt for you.
Yeah.
You
I
were-
didn't have my phone. I lost my phone momentarily, so
I know.
it worked out.
Did you have an interview?
No, the VIP lunch.
The VIP luncheon. and-
right. Yeah.
Yes.
And I
he
got
was
there.
supposed
Lisa,
to be
how much
there.
time do we have? Yeah. She goes,
Yeah.
you're okay. Yeah. But it was by the.
And
hair
Jim
of-
was MIA. So I had 3 people looking for him to bring him to the luncheon.
But once it got going, we need to do more of those.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Really?
That
the
was great.
quiet,
Yeah, it wasn't
quiet
just-
environment. We needed more time. The
Mm-hmm.
questions, the conversations. People were digging deep,
Yeah.
and we got to figure out how to do
Well,
that.
it was also a small group where you could have those conversations and just reflect on some of the things that they had talked about earlier
It was
in
outdoors.
the day. It was outdoors.
It was outside.
It
Everybody was saying
great.
thank you for
Yeah.
Scottsdale. Why did it take so long to get here?
Right.
That was
Yeah.
really cool.
How many people did you have for the lunch?
34.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
It was a
Good
good,
crowd.
really good
Every
turnout.
table was filled. They were talking, but the conversation was off the charts.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
that was good.
So then we come back here. Sessions, Howard's got them programmed. Thanos session, standing room, not standing room only, but jam-packed room. Realcomm Live going on all day long, nonstop. Insane interviews. So those of you listening, I don't know, it could be 5, it could be 50, it could be 500, but this is really an opportunity to see the high level of what's going on at this conference. Send that link out to people, and we'll get the reader.
We'll be posting those when you
Oh yeah,
think.
I don't know, Mary. When are we going to get next 24, 48 maybe, or next week?
Next week.
All right,
Next week.
everything will be up on YouTube after the fact. But it's fun to watch live because we're pulling people off the floor, a lot of pre-programmed stuff, but you know, there's a lot of spontaneity going on, and if you're working in the prop tech, real estate tech world, just put it off on another screen and do your emails and kind of keep an eye on what's going on. So it's pretty cool. And then we just had some sessions with Real Estate Cyber Consortium. We just had a great interview with John Petsy, and then in about 20 seconds as we sign off, we're going to take a little break, and then 6 o'clock we're coming back live with the Digis.
Right.
Digis.
Right.
Yep.
Right here in the
Watch
exhibit
them
hall.
live streamed, on our website.
Yep. And so 23rd annual, we're giving out these awards. I think back some of the first winners, Andy Florence, co-star, nobody knew who that little guy was with a small company starting out, and all of a sudden one of the most successful companies in our industry. And then Dennis DeAndre, LoopNet, who goes into buying. They got Digis early on. We gave a Digi to Keyhole, who nobody knew who Keyhole was. They turned out to be Google Earth.
Yeah. Did you see Sabine's face when you mentioned that?
No, she didn't know.
I don't think she knew.
She didn't
know.
Yeah, I mean, we've forgotten more than most people know at this point. I mean,
we forget.
The talent that's come through this room and have gotten those awards. And time is the test. It's not just we think it's cool now or in the next couple of years, but 20 years later, our choices, I'd say we probably hit about an 80% of spot on, which that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially trying to figure out who's who, and especially the new companies, but it's a lot of fun. So go grab a cup of coffee, a beer, a wine, some scotch, wherever you are in the world, and get back here at 6 o'clock where we're going to go live again with our Digis, and we're going to bring, a couple people couldn't make it, we're going to be bringing them in live, so think about that. We got New York live, and then we're going to bring somebody in live from another place, and then we take that and stream it out to you. There's a lot of technology going on, and 18 months ago I wouldn't have had a clue how to do this, but we're getting pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I think. So.
Yep.
Howard, thank you. Lisa.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That is it. We're
Thank
going to
you all.
wrap and see you in a few minutes.